I just got back from a 3-week trip to Japan and I'm back with a new haircut, a revised love of matcha, and a ton of stationery. I have been planning and saving for this trip for the last 2 years, so I expect this video to be a little lengthy. Grab yourself some coffee, some tea, or a matcha, and let's get into it. All right, let's jump right in and start with one of the hero items of my trip. This is by a brand called UTLIM, and this is a little travel organizer, and it opens up like this, and the genius part of it is that it stands up on its own like this, and it has all these little compartments. Oh, it's magnetic, so you can hear it. It stands up on its own and it has all of these little compartments. So down here it has a little shelf that you can put things in, and it holds it because it has this little lip. There's also this mesh pocket that worked out really well for me to have little items like SD cards. And in the back there's this elastic. I put my SSD cards in there as well as my large cables. I have little cards for other things that I picked up while I was in Japan, and I also put in my charger for my sleep ring tracker and some other accessories for my camera. So it really works double duty because it's able to be opened up and put on my nightstand. This is how I used it when I moved from hotel to hotel. And then it's nice because it packs really flat here. So when you zip it up, it has a really low profile. I used it to store electronics during my trip, but I'm planning on using it to hold stationery now that I'm back home. It can also be stored like this, which is probably how I would pack it in my bag. So this is a really cute item that I picked up at a stationery store. Speaking of cute items, let's go ahead and go through the character stationery things that I purchased. Since those are some really niche products, I want to go ahead and get through those. This is Chiikawa. This is a character right here. It is not as mainstream in the US, so it's more of a Japan specific character. And I purchased this little pen case. I loved this kind of doctor bag pen case. It opens up, it has a rigid edge, so it holds its shape and it stays open on its own. It's made out of denim, it has a little zipper, and in the front it has the characters, and in the back it has this little pouch. Now, when I was in Japan, I was looking out for things that were made in Japan. This is one of the items that was made in China, but because I became a fan of this character, some of the things that I got that were more character related were things that were made in China. So as I go through the haul, I will try to point out where the items are made. This is another pen case, and it is the same character. This is the Chiikawa character over here, and it's a reversible pen case. So here you can see this character, and you can zip it up, and you could also reverse it. And this is another character within that animated series. And you can see that the zipper actually has a zipper pull on both ends. So you can fully close it when this character is on the outside as well. Staying on theme, this is another pencil case. And this has 2 separate storage compartments. The front here is a clear see-through compartment. And the back here is not, and it's substantially bigger. It took 3 of these styrofoam insert thingies to fill up this space. So the space in the front is substantially smaller. There's 2 zipper pulls. I really like the shape of these zipper pulls. And again, it's something pretty specific to Japan, even though this one was also made in China. I have one more character pouch. This is the same Chiikawa character. And in here, I have a bunch of pens that I purchased while I was there. So let me bring all of these out. I also have a Mount Fuji keychain. This is kind of a standard pencil case. It's made by this brand Outdoor Products. It looked like this Outdoor Products brand made a lot of these character-based bags. This was just a pencil case, but I saw lots of larger bags with more of the popular characters like Hello Kitty or the other Sanrio characters. All right, let's see what I have here. So in that Chiikawa store, I was able to find Energel pens. So this was a brown Energel pen. I also got a green one. And I think there was one more, this purple Energel pen. This is an old Hobonichi Techo pen from 2019. It just made its way into this bag because I brought that with me. This is just a regular Energel pen. This was one of the pens that I took with me as well, but I did purchase a good deal of Energel pens, which we'll probably see later on in the haul. This is a Jetstream pen that I actually bought for my son, so I'm going to move that over there. Also with the characters, I picked up some of these mild liners that also have the characters here. I got one in a mild gray, a yellow, and a purple. So these are just the conventional mild liners. So on one side you have a chisel tip, and on the other side you have a pointed felt tip. So I got 3 of the character ones. They did have this in one more color, but it was sold out in the character store. So that was all I got. These other pens, oh, actually, here we go. Here's a green one. I think there was still one more. I think it was orange, and I didn't get that one. So I also picked up these Pilot highlighters. Now these are available via JetPens and a bunch of other stores within the US, but this is a special highlighter tip. So we have the felt tip of the highlighter, and then you have a guide on both ends that's see-through so that you can have very precise highlighting. And I have seen these on Instagram, but what I didn't know was that it also has that felt tip point. So here I got the mild colors. So it came in a gray, an orange, a pink, a blue, and I think, was that all the mild colors? Maybe this one was a mild one as well. So gray, yellow, pink, blue, and orange. And then I also got them in the vibrant colors. Oh, here we go. That was the difference here. This was the mild green. I also got it in the fluorescent colors, so in green, orange, yellow, blue, and pink. So I got the whole set. I will say that the person who was ringing me up did have a little bit of side eye. I think this is a really American thing to do, to get like a full collection or to buy 10 highlighters at once. But nevertheless, I did that while I was at a bookstore. I saw them and I had to grab them all. Even though I knew that I could probably get them in the US, I wanted to purchase them while I was there. Finishing up with some of these pens, there was an Energel 0.5 in pink, which I hadn't seen before. I know that you can get these on Amazon, but I had never seen it in person before, so I purchased that. This guy is a very, very fine tipped pencil. I do have this in a pink color. It says point on it, and it doesn't have any other labels, so I'm not sure who manufactures this. I will look it up and leave the name somewhere down here, but I thought this was really cute and I really liked the vibrant blue, so I picked this up as well. I also have 2 other pens that are out right now. This is a Hello Kitty multicolored Pentel Energel. Energels have been my favorite pens recently, so I was excited when I was able to see some cute ones. This has a black pen as well as a red pen, and I believe it's a 0.5. On the top here is Hello Kitty, and I also purchased one of this character, which I have to admit, my Melody is not a Sanrio character that I was really familiar with. Like I said, I didn't go in having a favorite character. I was just buying things that looked cute and brought me joy. This is another Energel with 2 colors, and here we can see, because of this one's still in the wrapping, that it is a 0.5 millimeter. I also added 2 fancy pens to my pen collection, including this light blue sailor pen with a gold nib. I also got this Pilot capless, also known as the Pilot Vanishing Point here in the US, in the Itoya store in Tokyo. This set comes with this limited edition gray gradient pen. It has a matte finish, and you can see that it has gray in the middle and it fades out to white on both ends. This pen also has a fine gold nib. It came in this set, which includes a discontinued gray ink, which is one of my favorite inks of all time. All right, let's move on to my Traveler's Notebook haul. I went to both Traveler's Notebooks stores, the one in Tokyo Station and the actual store in Kyoto. And I purchased this special edition Traveler's Factory Kyoto cover for my Traveler's Notebook. It is a really, really deep blue. Sometimes it looks green to me depending on the lighting. Let's see if the camera will pick it up. Not sure if the camera will pick it up, but even in real life, it looks like a deep green, even though it says this is the blue color, or at least it did in the box. It has rose gold embossing, and it also came with a special edition insert, and it has some foiled icons related to Kyoto, and it says travelersfactory.com. This came with the notebook, but I traveled to Japan with the Traveler's Notebook Tokyo edition that I got from a local stationery store, Jenny Bick Design. I am a big fan of this local stationery store here in the Washington, D.C. area. I was using this to journal while I was in Japan, and I was also able to get some Traveler's Notebook stamps from the actual store, so I stamped that. I am planning on doing some additional journaling and scrapbooking in this traveler's notebook. So I kept some mementos as we were traveling from places where I went shopping, places where we visited, and I'm planning on doing a full scrapbook within this traveler's notebook. If you want me to make a video on my scrapbooking, which is a little different than what we usually do on this channel, give this video a thumbs up and go ahead and let me know what you'd like to see in the comment section down below. All right, so that was the Traveler's Factory in Kyoto. I don't remember where I got these individual items, if I got them at the Tokyo Station store or in the Kyoto store, but I do know that this was all from the Traveler's Factory stores. This is a to and fro travelers company. This is an insert that is made in Japan. Coincidentally, I also picked up some to and fro packing cubes and a little packable tote when I was shopping around Tokyo. This insert works like this. You could put it behind your notebooks. Just pull it in like this. And then you have that additional pocket right here. It has 3 card holding spaces and a big pocket in the back. Also, you can put something under here, kind of that secret pocket. It closes with Velcro. It's really thin, which is also the case for the packing cubes and the packable tote from this company. And it has a zipper here, and it actually has a seam down the middle, so the pocket is just on this half of the insert. I also got this same blue insert in a smaller size. This is the passport size of that same insert. I also picked up this Black Wing collaboration. It has black wing pencils in the front and gold foiling here where the erasers are. You can tell that I'm just back from this trip since everything is still in its wrapping paper. Here I have a sticker release paper insert. I'm gonna go ahead and open that. This has plasticky sheets so that you can use this as a sticker book. That's really exciting. It's 32 pages of release paper. Also has information here on Travelers Company Japan, and this is also made in Japan. I picked up some Pan Am stickers. During my travels to Japan, my long 12-hour flight, I started watching the Pan Am show, which was a show that only ran for 1 season, but I purchased all of the episodes and I watched all 13 on the way. I have mixed feelings about it. It was all right. Here is a postcard from an animal cafe that we went to, and it just made its way into this traveler's notebook section. This is my common planner, which is the planner that I took with me to Japan. So it just kind of found its way into this group of stationery things. I did get a whole lot of stationery, so things did get intermingled. I got a passport size of that same release paper, so that sticker book in passport size. I don't see anything else that's passport size here. I got this A6 Slim spiral ring notebook with craft paper, and I bought this for my son as a little sketch pad. Sticking with the Pan Am theme, I got this A5 size pocket book. It is a book with blue pocket pages. So let me open that. The front looks like a Pan Am boarding pass. And then these blue pages are actually pocket pages so that you can store things in them. This book has about 16 pages of these pockets, and the pockets are double-sided. I also got these 2 spiral A5 slim notebooks. This is plain white MD paper, which I believe is Midori paper. It sure feels like Midori paper. This is a bright white and it is also made in Japan. I purchased this additional A5 slim book with 20 sheets of watercolor paper. Now, I do not do watercolor, but my son is an artist and he likes sketching on watercolor paper as well as craft paper, so I bought both of those for him. I believe that's all from the Traveler's Notebook, but I do have quite a bit of stuff. So if I come across something else from Traveler's Notebook, I will let you know. This is a notebook called, I believe it's Hightide. It's the free vertical weekly format. This notebook is made in Japan and it cost, looks like, about 2,030 yen. I'll leave the US dollar equivalent down at the bottom here. The packaging here says spacious monthly plus flexible vertical weekly, and I believe this 325 means that it's an April start or more likely a March start. I bought quite a few planners while I was in Japan because they had such interesting layouts and I'm a big fan of Japanese paper. So let's do a really quick walkthrough of this. I have a feeling this video is going to be quite lengthy, so let's go ahead and just get started on this one. There is a yearly overview starting with April and it ends in March of 2025 through 2026. Then there is this fabulous monthly to-do list, again starting in April and ending in March. That is followed by a monthly layout. The Sundays are in red and it is a Monday start. The actual individual boxes have very faint lines. The lines are actually dotted and divided into 3 with a heavier dot, which is so light that it might be difficult for the camera to pick up. Here at the bottom, you have a monthly overview of the preceding month and the following month. After that monthly page, monthlies go through April of 2026, you have this really interesting layout. And this layout was actually one of the layouts I had in a bullet journal a few years back. Here on the top, there is an individual square for each day of the week starting on Monday. And then you have this kind of free space that is divided with very faint dots if you want to use this as vertical columns for the individual days. It also has this center section divided into thirds with other dotted lines that are closer together than the dotted lines within each of the blocks. So it's a dot grid and a lined grid. It's very interesting. And here at the bottom, you have just a dotted grid and those dots are closer together. So it's a little bit more obvious that this is more of a grid page. But if you really look at this section, it's also a dotted grid section. Theoretically, you could use it in any direction, and the weekly pages start on March 24th, and they continue on. Oh, this paper is so nice. It is very thick and very smooth. You can hear it. It looks like the weeks just continue on and there's no separation. There is a light gray indicator here on the right where you can see the different months. So it starts up here at the number 4 and you can see that gray section moving downward. And there are 2 bookmarks, a light gray, a kind of bluish gray, and more of a turquoise greenish gray. And it comes with a little pocket sticker here that you can put either in the front or in the back. And this little insert shows you the features of the planner, which include the monthly to-do section, the monthly schedule, and the dot grid notebook. Oh, it looks like there is a dot grid notebook here in the back. So after that last week, there are 42 dot grid pages in the back. These are really small dot grids. I don't love this width between the dots, but I love this layout. Super unique, not something I see very often. All right, moving on to the rest of my unwrapped items. I have 2 of these campus word cards. Now, these were really inexpensive. Probably like $1 to purchase, but these are very expensive in the US. I know because I really love flashcards, especially for learning Japanese characters, since I have been studying Japanese for the last like year and a half. And I've wanted to purchase these, and they cost $7 for these tiny little index cards that are attached with this rubber. So I was really excited to be able to pick some up. I actually picked up 4 of them. I only have 2 right now because most of my stationery is still wrapped in the original duty-free packaging. So we're gonna get to those in a moment, but I do recall buying 2 more of these. These are in a cute pink and blue, which happen to be the color scheme for my capsule wardrobe, if you've seen my Japan travel prep video. So these were really cute and really affordable. I also have some stragglers here from the Traveler's Notebook, or potentially I got them outside of the Traveler's Notebook store, since Traveler's Notebook is a Japanese company and I was able to find these in other stores, not just within the actual Traveler's Notebook stores. I have this, which is cream paper. It's a monthly notebook. Let's try to keep things together. This is a monthly notebook, and it is actually undated, so I can use this at any time. It is a cream cover. Paper is relatively smooth. This is a textured cardstock here in the front. So I'm going to leave that here. And I have a passport size 5 by 5 millimeter grid. It has 63 white gridded pages. I purchased this because the grid is actually a little bit larger than some of the other notebooks for my big handwriting. I purchased these passport sized inserts because I picked up this leather passport cover that I'm planning on using as a notebook. So here with this passport sized traveler's notebook, I'm gonna slide that in to here. And I'm going to use this as a little notebook. This cover has 3 card slots as well as a big pocket here and a back pocket. The brand is called Mother House, and it is actually not made in Japan, but it is a Japanese company focused on fair trade practices, and I'll provide a little bit more information about the company in the description box down below. I loved this pink and blue gradient. It was my color scheme for my trip, and also 2 of my favorite colors if you haven't noticed around here in the channel. So I had to purchase this, and I thought it would be perfect to use as a little notebook cover for my passport size traveler's notebook inserts. This is a tiny pocket notebook that I picked up, also made in Japan. The brand is Isshoni. I will leave links to as much as I can down in the description box down below. This little notebook has teeny tiny little grid paper in it, as well as a little bookmark. And when you pull on that bookmark, you will see a small pencil is attached. I thought it was super cute in this periwinkle color, and it was 770 yen. I have been using a Rollbahn monthly notebook as my bullet journal for 2025, and I wasn't even aware that it was a Japanese brand. For some reason, I thought it was a German brand, but it is indeed a Japanese brand. You can see here that this is made in Japan, and this is a B6 gridded insert with cream paper. I've been really into grids lately, even more so than dotted paper, which is why you'll see a lot of grids, including this teeny tiny campus notebook. This is, it says S5 on it, but it's super small. It's a little bit bigger than this pocket notebook. It is pocket sized. It is the same size as this color notebook from Midori, which I did not pick up in Japan, but is part of my collection. At a random stationery store, I also picked up this washi tape cutter. This cutter makes little flags of your washi tape. So it works like this. Let's go ahead and find the end of this washi. You'll see that I already used it a little. So you pull out the washi and you pull it, and it makes a little flag. So here you see the point, and then that point was cut out. And now when you start again, you can just pull it up here at the point, and when you pull it up, it's going to make the end of the flag. There were also two other cutters that came in the same pack. This one makes 3 ridges, and this one actually slices the washi tape in half, making a thinner strip of washi. Now, I tried both of these cutters, and this one that purports to cut the washi in half is actually the most finicky, and I found that it didn't work as great as this simple flag maker or this one that makes these 3 ridges. This is a little Mount Fuji sticker roll. Supposedly you pull this sheet down and a sticker comes up. And there are a few different sticker patterns, and I bought this whole box for this seal. I am obsessed with cherry blossoms. It's one of the reasons why I went to Japan during this time of year. So I am hoping to get quite a few of these Sakura stickers so that I can use in my scrapbook. All right, now for the extra fun part. These are all my wrapped items, and I haven't seen them since I purchased them. Some things I've purchased 4 weeks ago, so it's gonna be interesting for me to go in here and see what I purchased. All right, here we have some washi tape. It's blue and pink, just my favorite colors. I got a Sakura. It's a burgundy color with pink cherry blossoms. This is a Mount Fuji washi, also with cherry blossoms. This is one of the limited edition washis with Snoopy that I got from the Tokyo Sky Tree. These are just some black thin washi that I've been meaning to repurchase. And this is some blue washi with foiled constellations. As you might have picked up from before, I am a huge Energel fan. So I purchased 1mm, 0.5, 0.4, and 0.3 needle tip Energels. This pack is from the famous 7-story stationery store, Itoya. Let me know in the description box if I am pronouncing that incorrectly. I know that I went there probably my first or second day in Tokyo, so it has been a while since, so I don't even remember what's in here. These are some really inexpensive sketchbooks that my son likes to use for his sketches, so I bought this for him. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 planners. Ooh. This is another Hightide planner. This is called the Renewal format. The front has an embossed journal. It is held together by this really thick elastic. Going in at the very beginning, it has a 2025 and 2026 overview. Then it has a 6 months at a glance page, followed by the next 6 months. Then there's the monthly to-do list. I love this format. Then this one was really unique. There is a monthly overview. That is followed by this page, which has 6 horizontal divisions. It has a little to-do list here at the first column, and then it has 3 blank columns. That is followed by 2 grid pages. So I think this format would work out really nicely for me at work. That is followed by the next month overview. Again, those 6 horizontal sections. So this could be for something like your 6 big projects that you're working on this month, or to follow along on the progress of something month over month. So it's only a monthly calendar, and it's going to take you over to April of 2026. That's going to be the last month. And that is followed by a bunch of lined papers. Monthlies really work well for me at work when I want to have monthly overviews, but I also want a lot of free space to take notes at meetings or just to keep important information handy. That's the Hightide Renewal format. This one is by Force, and it is a 2025 scheduler book. Now, I know that this one was substantially more expensive than the other planners. This one was 5,390 yen. And I know that part of it is because it is a linen-bound book, but I also think that there is a way of syncing what you write in this book to some sort of online system, because it says online seminar, and it also has Force here in the middle, schedule, image, and this loop. So I'm gonna do a little bit more research and I'll be doing a full review of all of these planners. So they'll all get their own individual video, but let's take a peek inside. It is a pretty substantial cover. You can hear the texture on it. Ooh. The format for this, it starts with a blank page. It says, "For my future." There are 2 of those pages. Then it has a portion for you to visualize your life in 3 years, in 6 years, and in 10 years. There is a yearly overview for 2025, 2026, and 2027. And this book is meant to open in this direction. There is a section here for you to write down some goals, to review your goals, and to write actions toward those goals. And there's a few of those pages. Then there's a yearly plan across 2 pages, an annual schedule. I can definitely see what drew me to this planner. A blank grid page with grid, and the grid size is big enough for my big handwriting. An additional 2 blank sheets, and that is followed by November monthly schedule, which I believe is November of 2024 because this is a 2025 scheduler. There is a project log for November, and you have lots and lots of slots for different projects, and then the numbers on top from 1 to 30 corresponding to each day in November. The weekends here are blacked out, and the holidays are coded in red, as well as Sundays. Then you have hourly vertical sections on top and blank gridded page opposite of that, as well as some action sections here at the bottom. That goes on week to week and month to month, and each month is delineated with this black notation here, so you can see as the months progress. Each month starts with that 2-page monthly overview, followed by that project log, and then you have the weekly pages. After you're done with the last month, which is it's March of 2026. So you do have quite a bit of months here. You also have a section for it says cherish my favorites. So you have fashion, food, interior, and then some other sections just labeled with a heart icon. Happiness advantage, date, who, and memo here. That's goes on for a few pages, and you have grid pages at the end. That's 2 spreads, 3 spreads, some year of birth age, some information or contact information, a ruler here with centimeters, and I believe this is a pocket. Oh, yeah, I do have to separate it, but there is a little plastic pocket here at the back, and a strap holding it all together. These are 2 Mill B6 notebooks for 2025, and both of them have different weekly layouts. So this blue layout has the days of the week in vertical columns starting at 9 o'clock and ending at 1900, and there are 4 sections at the bottom of each day of the week. There's also a column here on the far left where the current week is highlighted. You'll see last month and 2 upcoming months. I believe that it's just weeklies here, so there aren't any monthlies that are interspersed with the weeklies, but you do have the monthly overviews here at the very beginning. So going back to the beginning, you have an overview of 2025 and the first 3 months of 2026, since this is a March start. And you're going to have a monthly overview, and that's going to be followed by weekly pages. The pages are divided into 8 columns, 7 for the days of the week. Each day of the week has hours starting from 9 o'clock to 1900, and that is followed by 4 lined spaces at the end of each day. On the far left-hand corner, you have the current month highlighted, as well as last month, this month, and 2 months into the future. Like many of the other planners, the months are denoted here with a little marking. This one has them in gray, and you'll see that gray indicator moves down the page as the months progress. The monthly overviews are interspersed between the weeks, so you do get the month followed by the weeks of that month. And at the end here, you do have a few bonus pages, 2 blank note pages, a yearly overview for the entire year, a password list page, a cycle calendar page. I'll have to do a little bit more research and translating to know what that is. There is a context page, an age by year page, as well as contacts for your personal data. This planner has a vinyl cover and it also has a pen loop here. So I got this one in blue and the sister here in pink. Same brand, and it's going to start with that same overview of 2025, the yearly plan. That is followed by a monthly overview with a Monday start, and the Sundays are in red. And this has a different layout. So we have a week on 2 pages. The left side of the page covers the days horizontally with hours starting at 6 and ending at 2100. So this is a really versatile layout because you can use that as a timeline, or you could ignore the little numbers and just use this section for planning. On the opposite side, you have a generous sized grid, even for my big handwriting, and you have the current week highlighted in gray within these monthly overviews, and it includes the preceding month as well as 2 months into the future. Like the brother of this planner in blue, the months have this gray denotation here down the side. The monthly overviews are interspersed with the weekly layouts. And at the back of the notebook, you're going to have the same 2 notes pages, the yearly overview or the monthly sections for each of the months of the year, a password section, as well as this cycle calendar, the age timetable, contact information, and your personal data. This is also vinyl, but in pink this time, and it has the pen loop and a little pocket here in the back. Let's see what's in the next blind bag. This one was in an academic store? Academia? I wonder what's in here. If you guessed more planners, you are correct. All right, here are the other 2 campus word cards. This is a yellow one, and if you think the pinks are the same, they're not. This is a hot pink and this is a pale pink, and you'll see that rather than having the rubber, it has a metal binder clip. This is a ruler that opens up, and it could also be used as a protractor. There are these little holes here where you can put your pencil and move it to specific degrees. And here in the middle, you'll see that it has from 0 degrees to 180 degrees. So I thought that was really cool. I don't need a protractor, but in case I do, I have one. This is a 0.5 millimeter pencil, and I purchased this for my son for his sketches. I really like the eraser on these pencils because you twist them up and you can also refill not just the lead, but also the eraser in this monograph pencil, 0.5 millimeters. It looks like I got 3 planners at this store. This one is by a brand Torinco. This is the number 2. Again, I'll leave links to anything that I can find down below. It is an April start, and it has a yearly overview of last year and next year, as well as the current year, 2025. There is a monthly overview. Saturdays are in blue, Sundays are in red. This is a Sunday start. So this layout has a monthly overview, followed by a lined page, which might be hard to see because this paper is really thin. That is followed by a grid page. So every month has a monthly overview, a line page, and a grid page. So this is just a monthly planner. And it has these little tabs, like old school address book. And after March of 2026, you have the line and the grid page. You have a few monthly overviews only that take you into the middle of 2026. And then you have a series of lined pages. Not too many. You have a wish list, a book list, a movie list, a map of Japan, another wish list, a world map, some personal data, an age chart, and then you have these little memo pages. Now they're cream and they're also perforated right here. So you can fold them on the perforation, and they're also perforated along here. And you can cut those pages out and give that information to other people, or perhaps keep that as a memo to yourself, and you can tear it out and take it with you. So I liked that little feature on this, and there's 4 sheets of that memo page. This is also a vinyl cover. It has 2 slots here at the back, as well as a pen page. And I like this kind of dusty teal color for a little break from my usual dusty pink and sky blue. This is the same brand, but it is a daily planner. I got it in the blue color. There is the yearly overview, followed by the year in 1 page overview. Then you have monthly events starting in April through March. You have a monthly overview with a Monday start. The Saturdays are again blue and Sundays are red. And you have all of the months together all the way through June of 2026. And then you have these daily pages. The daily pages are broken up into 2 sections, large section on top, smaller section on the bottom. The top section is gridded and it does have a faint timeline starting at 6 and ending at 2400. There are also some additional dots on top of the 6 and below the 2400. This section is gridded, but this section here is lined. It has a monthly overview on the top right-hand corner, and the actual days that are covered on this layout are shaded in a very faint gray. The months also have this gray denotation, so you can see that move down the side. And that is followed by a series of full grid pages, a wish list, a book list, a movie list, a world map and time chart, a password list and age chart, your personal contact information, just 1 slit here, and a pen holder. So this is the daily planner that I picked up. I have 1 more weekly planner in the A5 size. Also a slightly different format. So we have the yearly overview, we have the monthly format with a Monday start. That is followed by this weekly layout. Now, this has 7 columns for every day of the week. The hours are labeled from 5 o'clock to 2400. At the bottom of each day, there are an additional 4 dots here at the bottom. And then there's this large grid column. Again, this format might work out very nicely as a work planner for me, since I do have timed events and I want to keep some notes about those timed events. That is followed by the next week, and it goes on through till the next month. It's very easy to go to the next month because this one has the little cutouts, so you can quickly go to, say, August or November, and you're going to have that same layout. It's going to be month followed by the individual weeks. Now, when we come to the end of the planner, there's a series of lined pages, followed by grid pages, and then you're going to have the wish list, the book list, the movie list, and the world map. So you'll see the grid here versus the lined pages. I must have made another stop at Itoya. Let's see what we have here. Oh, these are fun. These are binders that you can fill with individual planning sheets. So I got one in a hard plastic, and I also got one in a vinyl-y fabric. I got inserts for it. So this is for my son. These are the same sketchbook brand. It makes his little inserts. So I'm planning on giving him this guy. You can see that the holes on this correspond to the holes in this binder, so you can fill it with any kind of paper that works for you. So this is going to be a little sketchbook for him, and I am going to keep this one, which looks like it was bent, probably on the flight over. I got inserts for my notebook. These are card inserts, so there are 2 per sheet. Then I have these loose leaf inserts. They have little check marks here on the top corner, and the sheets are just lined. So this is what those pages look like. And there's some examples on how they could be used. I like that they're index card size and that you can take them in and out of that binder system. I also got some grid loose leaf paper for the system, and these inserts I thought were really interesting. They're time planning inserts. So on the left-hand side, there's a to-do list, and then there's a timetable that goes from 4 o'clock to 2400. All right, we have 3 more packages to go. This one was from a store called Smith's. They carried a lot of different brands like Delfonics, as well as the Rollbahn brand. So I got a few things from there. This is a Delfonics utility pouch. I have purchased this pouch from Jet Pens as well as some other companies here in the US, but it was a little bit cheaper to get in Japan, and they also had all of the colors. This is a cotton canvas bag, and you could also attach a strap to this. So it has these 2 loops here that could be used for attachments. Let's see if I have anything else in here. I bought a hot pink Rollbahn tiny little notebook. I have these pink dividers that you can actually clip onto the notebook. These are gridded sticky notes that you can use for different things, including setting out an hourly agenda within the Rollbahn or in any of your notebooks, really. I also got these 2 washi tapes. One of them has the days of the week, and this one has the hours from 1 to 24. I was clearly on a pink theme this day because I got this little tape measure. I believe it says made in Germany, and this looks like it is centimeters. At that same store, but not in the same bag, I purchased this little carrier where you can put things in. It is a water repellent pouch that you can attach with this ring. And I got this utility bag for carrying tools, it's what it's called, also by Delfonics, and it has that same mechanism that I had in my character pouch. You can open it up and it has this stiff kind of metal in there where it can hold it open. On the inside it has 2 mesh pockets that run the entire duration of the side. This is also waterproof, and it has this really rugged pull here, and I got it in a surprising gray color rather than my usual pink or blue. I swear this was a different trip to Smith's. My husband actually really liked the store. He picked up some items there as well. These are some Rollbahn flexible inserts. So this is a slightly different system called the Rollbahn Flexible. This is the cover set, which just comes with the cover and some dividers. So this has 1, 2, 3 dividers. Oh, it also has these envelopes. Has a few of those. Some date pages, some colored pages with this divider. They happen to be in blue and pink. This is a day on one page because on the very top it has the months, the day of the week, or the days of the week. On the top it has the months, the days of the week, as well as the individual dates, and that is in pink. And this system, it's called that flexible system because you can put in inserts. So I bought a package of those pink inserts for the dailies, and also this life log, which are the white pages that it already came with. I didn't buy the blue pages, so let me see what those look like. It came with a few of them, and I know that I can get this Rollbahn brand in the US. I've never seen this flex system before, but I've even seen the Rollbahn sold in Barnes& and Noble stores. So I'm sure that if I do want to get those blue pages, I can get those as well. Because I was there for cherry blossom season, they had some limited edition spiral books. This was one of their limited editions. It says Delfonics and Smith Limited here, and it had the cherry blossoms, so I couldn't resist. I had to grab this as well. Okay, for my final purchase, I actually got to visit the Hobonichi physical stores both in Tokyo and in Kyoto, and I'm sad to say that I was really disappointed with not really the service, but I was just so excited to be in the physical Hobonichi stores, and it seemed like consistent with the Japanese like sentiments. Like they were just really chill and not as hyper excited as I was about like being there. And I don't know if there was like a language barrier or what happened, but it was difficult for me to find what I was looking for. The stores were actually really small as well, so they did have a really good selection of everything, but I only grabbed a few things. I was looking for an April start hardcover book, but it turned out these hardcovers only have January starts. I grabbed this fabric covered hardcover daily Hobonichi in the A5 size. And I will say that it was substantially less expensive than what I pay for these hardcover Hobonichis here in the States. But I was excited to get an April start, so I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get the April start. And my husband picked out this cover for me. I don't know if it would be the cover that I would choose for myself, but I'm excited because I have the memory of going to the Hobonichi store, having him pick one out for me. And I have done a series of reviews on the entire Hobonichi line. So this is just a Hobonichi cousin. I will link full videos and reviews of the Hobonichi, including a full walkthrough and a review of the Tomoe River paper that they use. But very quickly, there's a yearly overview, there's a 6-month layout followed by another 6-month layout. That's followed by the monthly overviews. The monthly overviews are all in the front here. And that is followed by weekly overviews. All of the weekly overviews are together. And what makes the Hobonichi extra special is that it also has a day on one page. So you get a yearly, a monthly, a weekly, and a daily planner all in one. So that was my Hobonichi pick and my Hobonichi experience. This is a writing board so that you can put it in between the pages because the Tomoe River paper is so thin that you can make an indentation in the following page. So that board helps to prevent that, and it also makes the pages a little less see-through. While I was in the Hobonichi store, I also picked up some little tabs here. These are see-through tabs in different shapes that fit nicely into the Hobonichi boxes, so especially made for that. I picked up a plastic cover for that A5 Hobonichi cousin. I picked up a Tomoe River paper notebook. It is a gridded notebook with the same size grid that you'll find within the Hobonichis. It is totally blank, so there's no specific planning system, but the grids do change color. So the grids start off this reddish color, and then you have a blue color, a gray color, a green, a purple, and I think that's about it. So that's my Hobonichi Tomoe River paper notebook. I am losing my voice, so I'm very happy that this is the last stationery item that I picked up in Tokyo. And I don't even know what it is because it's in this foil. All right. Ooh. This is a tiny book. I do not remember picking this book out. It looks like a larger grid size than usual. I wonder if this is like a free gift with purchase or something. Maybe they were nice at Hobonichi. That is everything I got in Japan, along with this refreshed aesthetic. If you're interested in why I went to Japan in the first place, check out this video right here, or check out this video that YouTube thinks you'll like.